trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Rock and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In our heart and the struggle, we dare to dream. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Amadaya production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Rock and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In our heart and the struggle, we dare to dream. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Rock and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In our heart and the struggle, we dare.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Amadaya Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Amadaya Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, let's get ready to get into it. All right. So hello, Juju. Okay, just anticipate Claudette. All right, let's get into it. Okay, Nita and Mike's World, Buckhorst, DC. All right. Love Christy is here. Deronda. All right. Shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen. Okay, so let's get ready to get into it. Everybody hit that like button. Okay, let me put my glasses on. I can barely see. Okay, Cookie, I see you, beloved. Claudette, Chili Willy from Philly. Greta Lee is here. We the people. All right. Shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuning into the Queen. And a big shout out to my moderators because y'all know they be putting in work. I see you, Gregory, beloved. Okay, so before we get started, hey, Nessie X. Andrea is here. Okay, so before we get started, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes. Here we go.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so with that all being said, don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes Hair Oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts, and you can also find her products on Walmart.com. And don't forget that she sells beard oil. Okay, and so with that all being said, let's get ready to get into it. Hold on. All right, so let's talk about it because I'm sorry, but Mr. Jeff Metcalf is so full of BS. Now, if you all remember, he's been constantly saying, oh, it isn't about race, but of course it was about race. And then also he acted as though he had a little bit of empathy for Carmelo. Now, mind you, I don't expect him to, but that's just what he was acting like. But then he goes out here on a whole racist tirade, which we're going to get into momentarily. And he called Carmelo a watermelon felon. Okay, and I find that all very interesting. I find it all very interesting. So, but before we get into that, we're going to talk about we're going to go to Carmelo's parents' interview. Now, this is a clip, and then they also did an interview with the lamestream media. Okay, so we're going to watch that too. Here we go. Now, I'm going to put an overlay.
A fair trial.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Hold on, I'm going to put an overlay on this. Okay.
Not.
Absolutely not. And we're going to keep fighting.
Mhm.
We will not stop fighting for justice for my son.
Mhm. And as parents, have you all struggled with guilt, asking yourselves, is there anything differently? I know, Kayla, you said you wish you had gone to that track meet. Is there anything that you both wish you could have done differently?
I wish I would have just been rebellious. I was told, don't talk to this person. Don't talk to this person. I feel like it was just a setup. Now, so they told us, go get white attorneys. Every black person I went to, white attorney. No white attorney, they set them up, pushed them. Hey, here you go. I mean, no objections. It was things smooth. So because as a father of me being who I am, I got to make sure she's straight. This mama, I got to make sure she's straight mentally, because if she's not straight, my house ain't straight. I'm not straight. Then so because I got the kids to worry about. Got to make sure his mental health. I can't go back and forth with him right in there because his mental can handle it. The misunderstanding of what dad is trying to tell you. This ain't a daddy moment.
So do you believe your son received a fair trial?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
The mother is just so broken up about this whole thing. I really feel so bad for the entire family, but specifically the mother. She's really having a difficult time. Now, before I go to their interview, let's take a look at what Little Miss Crockett had to say. And by Little Miss Crockett, y'all know I'm talking about Jasmine. Now, she finally came out and said something when she was stopped and questioned by TMZ. Okay, and then she did a broadcast about it. I think it was yesterday. I didn't watch it, but I saw that she did one. It looked like she had a panel discussion. Okay, so let's get into it.
You might have seen that Carmelo Anthony was sentenced to 35 years. I want to get your reaction to the trial and the verdict.
My heart breaks for so many reasons. And so I was just speaking to a student that is shadowing me who wants to be a public defender. And so it takes me back to what actually made me decide to get into this legislative work in the first place, because I know that our systems are broken. And what we saw with that verdict is the evidence of a broken system. Now, listen, from everything that I understand, which I wasn't at the trial because obviously I got a day job, but it's my understanding that Carmelo ended up stabbing, puncturing, I don't know what this tool was that they talk about, knife, or some refer to it as a tool. He ended up hitting Austin one time, and it was about where he hit him. One time, 2 inches. This wasn't someone who said, hey, let me stab you 5, 6, 7 times. And so when you're looking at the punishment range, there's a reason in Texas that it goes from 5 to 99 or life, because you are looking at how intentional, like how bad was this? 35 years for a kid who had decided to go under a tent that was not his team's tent as it was raining, and simply didn't want to be put out in the rain by some random kid that he didn't know who was larger than him. Listen, a lot of people don't know what it is to live as a Black person in this country, but just like you can give the benefit of the doubt to so many police officers when they go out and they shoot some Black unarmed person, even though they are trained, the fact that there was little to no mercy seen or humanity seen when this Black boy said that I was scared, or the fact that honestly anybody else who did something with such a small object, all I know is that it wasn't considered unlawful carrying of a weapon because the blade was not long enough, that they wouldn't even say, well, maybe this was more so something that looked like manslaughter.
Well, some people might say, why are you even bringing a knife like that to a track meet?
Yeah, people may say that, but walk a day in my shoes and then respond. Because we as Black folks say, why is it that people need long armed guns when we are going out and having a First Amendment protest? But people say that's their right. They are allowed to do that. And again, it wasn't against the law for him to have it. It may have been prohibited by school rules, which he wasn't at his school at the time, but it definitely was not against the law.
So you think race played a role in the verdict?
Oh my God. I know Collin County. So absolutely. Collin County is right north of Dallas County. And I can tell you that I have had cases that I felt like played out differently because of the counties that they were in. And unfortunately, that was not the county for a Black boy.
Rep. Crockett, you might have seen that Carmelo Anthony was sentenced to
Okay, let's go to this next clip. They said Representative Jasmine Crockett suggests that she also would have poked Austin Metcalf. Okay, that's what she basically said in a nutshell. Okay, hello, Naima. So let's get into it. Moderators, let me just remind you all, if you see any trolls, do not put them in timeouts and do not delete their comments. We block trolls, okay? Please don't let me have to keep saying that. Lord have mercy. Okay, that's why y'all are moderators, to block the trolls, okay? To banish them from the channel. They're not to be having their comments deleted or put in timeout. No. Okay, that's what we don't do. We block them.
Is beating me, like on top of me and beating me down. I'm not limited to fist. You know, I would argue that even the only time we go into things like people's hands being considered deadly weapons is typically like if they're a professional boxer or that kind of stuff. But I think by the time you start getting to like football player, good argument. Good freaking argument. We're not talking about like the golfers. We're talking about football players, right? Like this is what they are trained to do, is to inflict like serious physical contact. And it's my understanding that the decedent was, if a 300-pound man is beating me, like on top of me and beating me down, I'm not limited to fist. You know, I would argue.
Jasmine says she's not limited to fist. Okay, did y'all hear it? A 300-pound man beating her down. Could you imagine? Okay, because I clearly cannot. All right, so that's her 2 cents. She finally came out and said something after she was dragged out of the woodwork. Okay, y'all know I always liked Little Miss Crockett until I found out she was, you know, taking gifts from AIPAC. May not have taken the money, but was definitely taking gifts from them, and then also endorsing that guy who takes money from AIPAC rather than Cori Bush, who doesn't. Okay, I have a whole lot of thoughts on that. So Battle Axe said, keep your filthy hands to yourself. Exactly. Listen, no matter how they try to slice it. I mean, it's really interesting to me. Now, not interesting that they found Carmelo guilty of murder. Okay, because that's what I expect devils to do. But the bottom line is this. It's really interesting how they tried to paint Carmelo as the provocateur, basically, saying that he provoked the whole thing when Austin literally walked up 5 rows of bleachers to get to him. And Carmelo was seated the whole time. Because you tell someone, touch me and find out, or touch me and see what happens, that is not you instigating something. That is you warning the person, like, look, okay, you said you're going to put your hands on me. I don't think you want to do that. Okay? I don't think you want to do that. All right, so with that all being said, let's go to this interview, and then we're going to listen to what Austin's father had to say in an interview, and then we're going to get to the real him, because in this video, he was just being performative, basically. Okay, please pay attention.
Carmelo Anthony's family is also talking tonight. They believe the trial was unfair from the start. They do plan to appeal. Our Ken Molestina to continue now our team coverage.
A day after the trial, Carmelo Anthony's parents, Andrew Anthony and Kayla Hayes, sat down to break their silence and to let the world know how they're feeling as their son begins his 35-year sentence for murder. Despite what a jury found, his parents dispute their son ever wanted to kill Austin Metcalf.
My son is no murderer. My son didn't intend to hurt anyone. My son was defending himself. And that's what hurt so bad.
His mother recounts the moment she addressed the jury and made her plea to them during the sentencing phase.
To have mercy on my son. That's what I told the jury. I know they had their minds made up already. So, I mean, really wasn't much I could say to change their mind.
Both parents fighting back emotions and tears as they described what they believe was a flawed trial.
We were delusional. We thought we was going to get a fair shake.
They claimed there were inconsistencies from the get-go, despite witnesses who took an oath vowing to tell the truth.
Everyone actually lied on the stand.
Everyone.
All of the witnesses' statements were inconsistent. All of them.
His father says the court of public opinion had made up their mind about his son long.
Let me just say, for anyone who doesn't know that, yes, the witnesses all lied. Every last one of them lied. Okay, please miss me with it if you don't believe it. They all lied. And if you don't believe that they lied, you didn't follow the trial. You didn't look at the transcripts. You didn't follow the trial. Okay, that's what you didn't do. Because they absolutely made inconsistent statements. They changed their stories. If you say one thing in 2025 and now you're saying something different, that means you lied. Whether you lied then or you lied now, you lied. Okay, because both things can't be true. Okay, please pay attention. Now, some of these idiots who don't want to believe that, okay, they want to say, oh, y'all are just lying. Y'all are protecting a murderer. Please, I'm not taking any heat from anybody who defended Kyle Rittenhouse. Okay, Derek Chauvin, George Zimmerman, those types. If you, Chud the Builder, Jake Lang, if you deal with those types, if you like those types and you defend them and speak out for them, I don't care what you have to say. Okay, we don't care what you have to say about this trial and how we feel about it. Okay, because we know that the devils defend killers every day. They build statues and monuments to genocidal maniacs. Okay, please pay attention.
Before the trial began,
He was convicted when he walked out of the jail. If you looked at the news, all that shit, he was already convicted. If you look at it, it was already done. It was no innocent until proven guilty. He was already guilty.
he says the threats of violence against them continue.
People want us dead. That's what.
After they still got what they wanted.
After they still got what they want, they still want us dead. I can see. You see, I go look at my phone. People want us dead. They want our family dead.
And now they're preparing to appeal.
They did a number on us.
A judicial process they believe wronged them.
We didn't get justice. A lot of things that were missed that should have been handled a certain way. However, we couldn't say anything. We did what was instructed. We was told. So we just did what we was told.
Ken Molestina, CBS News, Texas.
Listen up, parents. Want to start building generational wealth and
Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you what I think. I believe that the guy who was the family spokesperson, I believe that he's the one who got them to pick that attorney. Because Nick at Night interviewed him and he wasn't talking about nothing. I'm not even going to waste my time showing you all the interview because he wasn't talking about nothing. All he was doing was talking in circles to me. When Nick asked him about why they chose that particular attorney, she said, I heard, or people are saying that you told them to pick that attorney or something like that, right? And he just started talking about, well, I work at this organization and, we try to do this and we try to do that, but we, talked to different attorneys. Half of them were Black attorneys. Okay, well, why didn't you pick any of them? Why didn't you pick any of them? I believe that he absolutely did tell those people to pick that attorney because he's a spokesperson. He's been telling them what to do from day one, in my opinion. And second of all, I already told you all I didn't like him. I thought that he was just too, it seemed like he was kind of clout chasing off of them, off of the situation. I don't know if he was, but that's just how it came off to me. Okay, and then when I heard about his convictions or whatever, I knew that was going to be problematic because now you have the racist demons bringing that up, or they brought it up at some point to try to make Carmelo look bad. But at the end of the day, what they failed to mention was Austin Metcalf's father's, SC charges. Okay, so they didn't say anything about that or the DV allegations or any of those things. So. But the bottom line is, yeah, Marie said, look up his criminal history. Honey, I've already seen it. Unless you're talking about Austin Metcalf's father, I've seen that too. Okay, at the end of the day, hold on. Let me catch this comment. Says, hold on. This chat is going so fast. The father said black people told them to pick a white lawyer. I thought he said black people told him not to pick that lawyer. That's what it sounded like he said to me. That he said they told him not to pick a white lawyer. Edward said they didn't pick them because they were charging too much. Well, I heard that too. Marie said he's a grifter, wants to be Ben Crump without the JD. That's what it's given, beloved. I absolutely believe you. Okay, I absolutely believe you. Now, Jay McClin said that was bad advice. It absolutely was. Okay, it absolutely was. And Lamont, beloved, thank you for your kind words. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. It absolutely was bad advice. I wish they had not listened to him, but hold on. We're going to get into it. So now let's go to the interview that Austin Metcalf's father did. And by the way, did you all hear about there being a possible hit on Melo? Did you all hear about that? Yeah, this guy did a video saying that there's a hit, and he was proud about it too. He was saying somebody told him that there's a hit on Carmelo. Okay, we're going to get into it. We're going to get into all of it.
The price for his conviction. Austin Metcalf's father tonight is talking only with our JD Miles about the price that his family is paying.
Because the lie is temporary, but the truth lasts forever.
Jeff Metcalf finally had a chance to read the words he's been writing in a notebook to address his son's killer.
You said, people think that grief is sadness, but it's not. It's rage.
Oh.
Pure, unfiltered rage. You failed yourself. You failed your parents. You failed society. You don't belong in this community.
That's correct.
Metcalf's victim impact statement came at the end of Carmelo Anthony's murder trial. For months, the father of Austin Metcalf has been silenced by a gag order imposed by the judge. Now he's free to speak publicly and says he's also free of something else.
When I woke up this morning, it was a very different feeling. When I woke up, I felt like 1,000,000 pounds had been lifted off my shoulders. Because I used to wake up every morning with this anxiety, with this feeling of dread. And this morning was the first day I woke up with a feeling of peace, comfort, tranquility that I haven't experienced in 14 months. And I felt Austin.
Metcalf was in court every day of Anthony's trial. The 19-year-old, now convicted murderer, not only took his son Austin's life, he did it right in front of Austin's twin brother, Hunter.
What killed me was the body cam footage when I could hear Hunter screaming. Oh God, my brother, my twin. You know, as a parent, you always want to protect your kids. And to hear my son and the fear in his voice, and I'm not there to fix it.
What was it like sitting in that courtroom with Carmelo Anthony for 5 or 6 days?
Challenging, is the first word that comes to my mind. And I'll even say this. I had a little bit of sorrow because I'm human. And that poor boy is fixing to experience a life that I would not wish upon anyone.
Metcalf says even today he's received death threats and has.
Here's the thing. I don't believe his family's been receiving any death threats. If they have been, and they've been swatted, as they say, where's the proof of this? Anyone can get on here and say anything. Now, Carmelo's family has been receiving death threats, but why would his family be receiving death threats? Nobody's thinking about them. We're all focused on Carmelo. Okay, and nobody's even mad at them for being mad because their son is dead. Okay, so why would anybody be targeting them? Please sit down somewhere. Nobody is targeting them. Okay, please pay attention. They would have some sort of proof, evidence, or facts or receipts. Okay, that's what they would do. But anywho, cultural somebody said he plans on suing. Well, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does plan on suing.
Previously
Nobody
endured
cares.
doxing of his personal information and multiple swatting calls to his house from people who he says have tried to villainize Austin and the family.
I would hope they take a look in the mirror. And if you have children, and if it was your child who was murdered, would you like people dragging his name through the mud, making memes, making jokes, and just really vile comments?
Where do you and the Metcalf family go from here?
Well, I mean, this is day one of a long healing process. Because honestly, it's been impossible to start healing until this trial was complete.
The trial may be over, but the racial polarization among Americans on display outside the Collin County Courthouse continues.
Look at the effect, not just the effect here between the Metcalf family and the Anthony family. Look what it did, one, to those kids they have to live with. Two, it took on this huge, wider, let's have a race war throughout the nation.
Metcalf insists that his son had no racist motives when he approached Anthony about leaving a track team tent.
This case was never about race.
There's going to be those people now that just, try to throw shade on the whole trial with the jury makeup and the speed of it and that sort of thing. I mean,
well, those are the same people that said he was jumped by 4 people.
He was. There's video proof of it. Okay. The video was shown at the school. 4 boys jumped him. One of them even said on the stand, it was me, Hunter, Austin, and Luke. That's 4. He also said they were the biggest ones on the team. Okay. Please sit down somewhere, sir. They jumped him. That's what they did. And that's why he did what he did. It was clearly self-defense.
His phone was broken. You're going to spin whatever story.
And let's not forget how Hunter admitted that Austin threw Carmelo's bag. He threw his backpack. So we know now that he didn't have his hand in it the whole time like they lied and said.
Or to try to keep yourself afloat.
Metcalf believes Anthony should have received a life sentence. He says if Anthony is up for parole in 17 years, he will be there in some form to argue against it.
If I'm still alive, yes, I will be there in person. If not, I am going to make a video, if I'm passed on, that can be played.
There are no walls in Metcalf's home without photos or paintings of Austin and his twin. These images and a scholarship in his son's name are what remain for this father, who says he's ready to finally forgive, but not forget.
But people need to understand about forgiveness. Forgiveness was not for him. Forgiveness was for me, so I don't carry the rage, the hate, and that around. It will eat me up like cancer.
J.D. Miles, CBS News.
He still carries the hate around from what I heard him saying, okay, on that live video that we're going to listen to momentarily. But let me just say this. Now, I am sorry that Austin died. He was only 17 years old. And whether he was a bully or not, being nefarious on the day of the incident or not, at the end of the day, I don't think that he deserved to die for his actions, but definitely there are consequences for our actions. Okay. And with that being said, I wish that his father had set a better example for him and his brother Hunter. Okay. Beating his mother, beating their mom in front of them. I'm sure that's where they learned to be violent. Okay. And they even supposedly beat him. Okay. So with that all being said, or the father, that is, I heard that they beat him as well. Now, and that's probably because he was doing something nefarious. Who knows? But what I'm saying is, here's the thing: the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Okay, this man is racist. Okay, you should have heard what he said. You're going to hear it momentarily, like I said, but I do believe that they got a lot of the things that they had as far as their bad behavior, their sense of entitlement, their bullying tactics. Okay, I feel like they got that from the father, them being violent. And that wasn't the first time they've been violent. Why were they suspended from school? They didn't talk about that during the trial. They didn't even bring it up. Why were they suspended? Okay. I'm sure I have several questions about that. Now, I know what I have heard, but I can't substantiate it. But nonetheless, other students said that they were both bullies. Okay, that they had been intimidated and bullied by them. Now, none of this, like I said, was brought up in the trial because by the time the trial came, they had already been coached on what to say. Okay, and that's why they got caught in their lies, because they already said the truth in the first place. Now, with that being said, let's go to this compilation of videos. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Okay, here we go. Hold on, which one of these am I going to? Okay, here it is right here.
Speaking, where was this energy for Brock Turner when he raped this girl and left her for dead and was only sentenced to 6 months in prison, but then the judge suspended it, so he only served 3? Where was this energy? Where was the rage? Like, justice for her. And like I said, free Mello. Free Carmelo. Free him till it's backwards.
I'm going to just go ahead and say it because
Let me say this too, Tanya, beloved. I was reading your comment. So you said that the guy is just an advocate and he didn't choose the lawyer. I know that's what he said when I saw him being interviewed by Neek at night. I heard him say that because I watched a little bit of it. And then said the black lawyers wouldn't take the case. They were charged $1 million. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. First of all, he said out of his own mouth that there were multiple black lawyers there. He said half of the lawyers they spoke with were black. Out of the half, you mean to tell me all of them were charging $1 million? Exactly. I don't believe that. That sounds like something he made up. And the way he was tiptoeing and tap dancing around the question, it seemed to me that he absolutely did tell them that that's who they should hire. He's an advocate, but he also can give them advice. And that's what he's been doing all along. Okay, that's what he's been doing all along. We've seen him. Okay, so I don't believe anything he says, quite frankly. And I don't like that man. I just get bad vibes from him. I never liked him. It's something about him. And not to mention those charges that he had. Okay, I never liked it. But let's continue.
because I don't give a fuck. The reason why Carmelo was found guilty is because they knew white people was going to cut the fuck up. The way white people have been acting during this trial, they knew it was going to be another January 6th if they didn't find Carmelo guilty. They knew it was going to be a race war. They knew white people was going to burn this bitch down like the savages and demons they are if Carmelo wasn't found guilty. White people kept saying that when Carmelo was found guilty that we was going to be looting, we was going to be rioting. And we ain't doing nothing but peaceful protesting.
And that's why they're mad. That's why they're so mad and angry, because they thought we were going to be hostile after acting a fool. We're not going to do it. We don't have any reason to. Okay, we know what to do. Okay, we're on code, most of us. Okay, and those that aren't, they can just fall by the wayside. But we're not going to engage in any sorts of violence, destruction of property, or any of those ignorant things. Okay, we're just not going to do that. Now, if they want to go out there and act a fool all by themselves, feel free. We'll watch from the window. Okay. Now, with that being said, let me just tell you all something. GHJF says Black Americans fight against racist whites, coward Latinas, Asians who fled their country. Trump has thrown Black America a lifeline with mass deportations. Democrats threw blacks a cinder block. Okay, well, the problem is, beloved, some of those people that Trump deported were citizens. Okay, please pay attention. And now he's trying to figure out a way to deport us. Okay, please pay attention. If you didn't read the paperwork, please go back and look it up. Now, I'm not lying. That's what he's trying to do. Okay, so please let's not give Trump any credit for anything that he doesn't deserve. Okay. Now, if you don't like the Democrats, that's one thing, but please don't sit here and praise Trump. Okay, police. Okay, please don't praise Trump. Okay, so now with that all being said, Cartier said we're not getting deported. Well, we're not. I would think that we're not, but it doesn't mean he won't try. Like I said, okay, he's absolutely trying to get it done. I mean, you all heard him. Those of you who've been following the channel, you heard him on that audio on the hot mic when he was talking to the president of El Salvador. He said that he wanted to send the American prisoners over there next. Okay, starting with the prisoners. All right? That's what he said. He said it out of his own mouth. So y'all can miss me with it, honey. I know what I heard. And everybody else on here heard it too because I played it. Now, that being said, let's continue.
If it was opposite, if Carmelo would have been found innocent, them words, even a thought of Carmelo being found innocent by killing a white boy triggers white people. So imagine if it really would have happened. Let's clock the T.
Your business, and if you take any actions towards somebody that's white that's doing anything to you, that you're going to go to jail for protecting yourself, regardless of how extreme you took it. White folks that gaslight you on this app talking about, well, he just pushed him. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Keep your hands to yourself. Well, he just touched his property. He don't mean you got to do something to him. Well, why not? It's white folks that literally pop dudes for ringing a fucking doorbell.
Exactly.
It's white folks that lynch black folks just for looking at white girls.
Exactly.
Y'all telling me because two big-ass white boys, one big-ass white boy put his hands on a black child, and that black child defending himself, now y'all want to call him a murderer because he defended himself? Through history, black folks have been bullied by white folks. And this is facts. I don't give a fuck what y'all trying to say. Through history, black folks been bullied by white folks. All you dumbass black motherfuckers that's saying it's not about race, bitch, it's about race. This whole motherfucking case been about race. The fact that the white boys seen an isolated black boy and they wanted to bully him, bitch, it's about race. It's about race.
Exactly. And how is it not about race when these racist MAGA demons are talking about a race war? It's clearly about race. It's clearly about race. And I want you to pay attention because when GH said that we're battling, the racist white people, the Asians and the Latinos, that's true. Don't leave out the Africans, because here's the thing that I've noticed. I've noticed that since we have been boycotting the Asians, the racist white folk are online, the MAGA crew, they're online boosting the Asians up. And then talking trash about us for boycotting when they know darn well they don't care anything about the Asians. If they did, the Asians would be in their neighborhood with their stores and shops, not ours. So we already know that they don't care anything about them. But what they're doing is trying to rage bait and instigate. Okay, that's what they do. The MAGA type. That's what they do. Okay, please pay attention. And then you had this African woman come out talking about us saying, oh, African Americans, y'all are always getting into it with everybody. Y'all boycott everybody. Y'all boycott the Africans. You boycott the Asians. You boycott the white people. So y'all must be the problem. You can't get along with anybody. Now, I find that interesting because the real people who can't get along with anybody is the racist white folk. It's not us. It's the racist white people who can't get along with anybody. Haven't you read history? Okay, and at the end of the day, that's the root of all the other BS. Because the Latinas that look like them think they're better than us. The Asians come here and think they're better than us. Okay, and then even black immigrants who almost look like us come here and think they're better than us. Now, I'm not saying all of them, but some. Okay, that's just what it is. It doesn't mean that we're the problem. It just means we have a whole lot of haters because we boycott you because you do things to us for us to boycott. And you see, I want you to pay attention. This is why they're all trying to dogpile on us because we're boycotting, and that's bothering them. The agents are absolutely so mad. Okay. And then the white folk are mad too, even though we haven't started to boycott them yet. They're saying stuff like, oh, y'all can't boycott us. So where are you going to get your food from? You can't go to Kroger. You can't go to Walmart. You can't go here. You can't go there. Well, here's the thing. We didn't say we're boycotting all of the businesses. Okay. We'll pick one or two if we feel like it. At the end of the day, whatever we decide to do is our business. And I don't know why they're so obsessed with us. But let's continue.
12 white jurors found a black boy that was defending himself guilty when there were cases exactly like this in reverse where white boys were found not guilty for defending themselves against black bullies. But it's cool for them. But when a black child defends himself and the same shit happens, he's a murderer. That makes sense. So if I'm minding my business and a white dude come up to me, tell me to move because he feel obligated or entitled, tell me to move, I gotta move? Ain't that just like telling motherfuckers they gotta get up out their seat on the back of the bus? Or they gotta go to the back of the bus?
Yep.
Ain't that just like that? So a motherfucker can tell me to move. And because I'm comfortable and I don't feel like moving, they can literally push me, touch my property. They can touch my property and me. And as soon as I retaliate, I'm going to jail. That makes sense.
Makes no sense. At the end of the day, if there was 4 huge people twice my size, male or female, okay, standing in front of me, hovering over me, and you snatch my backpack and throw it, and then you shove me so hard that I fall back off the bench, off the bleacher, onto someone else, and all 4 of y'all talking trash, and one of you already said you're going to beat my ass, I'm picking up whatever's the closest thing to me. Period. And I don't care what it is. I'm picking up whatever is the closest thing to, because protect and defend yourself by any means necessary. Now let's continue. And here's the thing. I don't condone violence unless, and I've told you all this 1,000 times, unless it's in defense of yourself or someone else. And that's what this was, a clear-cut case of self-defense.
All you black motherfuckers that don't see the bigger picture, I hope your kids get done the same way. I swear to God, I pray to God, all you black bitches that's going against Carmelo, I hope your child get bullied by a white boy and they do something bad to him. Just because your bitch ass looking for clout from these racist ass.
I'm going to fast forward that.
And a lot of it comes from like fear. Black people and how to hate black people. And a lot of it comes from like fear. Like they fear black people for some odd reason. They fear us. And for them to do.
I'm going to tell you what they fear. They fear that if we ever come to power, that we're going to treat them just as low down, dirty, and nefarious as they've always treated us. But see, that wouldn't even be the case because we have humanity and we're not out here trying to be nefarious. We just want people to leave us the hell alone. If we wanted to be violent, we could have done that a long time ago. Okay, decades ago. We could have already gotten our payback if it was through violence. That's not what we want. We want our reparations. Okay, and we want people to leave us the hell alone.
Harm or to unalive a black person, it makes them feel brave and courageous, right? But they always got to do it in a group. Like they too scared to do it by themselves. For the most part, you know, some gonna do it. Some will go at a black person one-on-one. But for the most part, most of them have to have the presence of others to feel that courage. you know, but come to find out, it's deeper than that. Like, it's not just because they were taught to hate black people from a young age. Like, that's part of the reason, but that's not the full reason. Like, it's a addiction that they have to black people. They did a study on the brain of a racist, on the brains of racist white people. And they found out that their thoughts rush like a person that has an addiction. So they have rushing thoughts about black people because they are addicted to black people. Now, this gave me a totally different perspective on like what they actually feel towards us. They're actually addicted to us, and they don't like it. They don't like their addiction to black people. Ain't that something? They want to be just like us. Like, they love the way that we dress, the way that we run.
Myself, somebody who's actually successful in the game, actually come out and start speaking out about it. Now, as a black man in this country who has dealt with all types of racial issues, especially being from the South, I think it's time for us to start hitting people where it hurts. Point blank, period. They want everything black. They want our music, our fashion, our entertainment. They want everything black, yet they don't like anything black. So I think we should do a cease. I think we should hold off of anything social media-wise for like 48 hours. Let's try 48 hours, cease to exist on social media. Let's start hitting people where it hurt.
How is that going to hurt them if we don't come on social media for 48 hours? How's that going to impact them? That's not going to hurt them. They probably wouldn't even notice. And even if they did, who cares? No, we're hitting the pockets, sir. But thank you.
People need to stop bringing black people into quite literally any conversation about race. I made a video talking about how I feel unsafe around white men, and the first comment is, well, what about black men? Number one, I was not talking about black men in this video whatsoever. What is your fucking obsession talking about black men specifically? And you know the person who commented this is white. It is a constant and chronic obsession with what black men are doing 24/7. And number two, when I'm talking about my experiences with white men, my negative experiences, please stop bringing up other races. Because yes, while other races can commit crimes or do other things, my own personal experiences have been white men who have assaulted me or have made me feel unsafe time and time again. Are there exceptions to this? Yes, but 90% of my negative interactions have been this. Also, commenting this feels like it is still rooted in the implicit assumption that black people commit more crimes, or bringing up black people is trying to promote some sort of racist narrative. Again, stop bringing black people into every single conversation. If we're going to talk about race, then we need to talk about the problem of white supremacy, which is what my page does. Go bother somebody else, and please stop trying this bullshit on my page because I'm going to continue to block you. I'm here to call out other white people. So if you want to be racist, go do that somewhere else.
Hold on, I keep forgetting I'm muted. Okay, she goes in on them. She said when she talks about the no good white men that she's dating, how they were, verbally or physically abusive and all that, they always say, well, what about black men? What about them? What about them? Take your L, okay? Leave us out of it. Lillian X said their obsession with us will never go away. They are mesmerized by us. Oh, Lillian X, that just tickled me so when you said mesmerized. I really believe it, though. Seriously, I absolutely believe it. Makes all the sense.
We must be nearing the end of whatever destiny swap happened to African Americans. And a part of me is like joking, but a part of me is not joking at all. Like, it's actually not a joke. Like, quite literally, I feel like the reason why these people in power are literally going out of their way to try and purposely provoke African Americans during this time is because they're trying to get us back into a cycle. Like, they're trying to destiny swap and then have black people look like they're angry and violent and crazy, get us into the streets so that they can literally swap destinies again and make black people look like the issue. Like, quite literally, that's what I think is going on. And that's why all of these things are happening. And it feels like the government and these other systems are quite literally scrambling to do any and everything to piss off black people, which I already talked about, but that is a form of reactive abuse. But it's going to literally get to the point because now black people aren't reacting and going out into the streets and, rioting. So it's going to get to the point where these people can no longer villainize black people, and it will actually do an Uno reverse on the colonizers and on the racist people who are quite literally trying to have black people look a certain way. That's why I say I feel like it's the end of a destiny swap, because I feel like the whole thing was to make black people look like the angry people and the violent people and all of these things, when realistically that was the colonizers the entire time.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're trying to do, honey. It's not going to work. It's not going to work because their true nature always comes out. Okay, these MAGA people, their true nature always comes out. I mean, look at what they did to the Capitol. How can we ever forget?
And they successfully were able to get everyone else outside of the black community to believe that black people were all of these negative things. But I feel like now the veil is lifting because black people aren't going out into the streets and causing the chaos that these systems want black people to cause. And so that's why it feels like whatever contract is up, whatever destiny swap is up. Like,
now, those of you that follow the spiritual channel, you know we talked about these destiny swaps. And you know what? That sounds kind of plausible, but let's continue.
It's done. There's no more of that, clearly. Like, it's just to the point where black people aren't giving the reaction. We're not going out into the streets and being angry. So whatever type of destiny swap they were trying to do, or whatever happened where there was a contract for black people to be seen one way, whatever it is energetically, that's done. And they can no longer do it anymore. And that's why they're scrambling to do all of these things, particularly to provoke black people in this country. But it's like, you can no longer do it. The contract is up. The destiny swap is no longer working. People are seeing colonizers for actually what they are, which is all of the negative things that they tried to say black people were since the beginning of this country. So I feel like whatever destiny was trying to be swapped can no longer be swapped. Whatever contract was written to be lasting however long can no longer continue. And that's why they're doing all of these things to try and put us back into that same place. And it's like too late because the veils are lifting. People see what's actually going on. But it's actually so crazy. And at this point, it's every day they're doing something to provoke black people, it feels like. Like what?
We're not falling for it. Now, I want you all to watch this right here. I just added this clip in just to show how racist white people will just come and bother a black person who's minding their own business. Okay, just like Austin and his brother Hunter did Carmelo. Just pay attention. Now, this black guy is sitting there playing the piano. There's a crowd of people around recording him and listening, enjoying themselves. This white guy just walks over and slams his hand down on the piano keys. Why did he do that? Well, because he just wants to be hateful and racist. Let me just roll it back. Look at him. You do things like that to get some sort of response out of you, some sort of reaction. Said, what was the point? They can be so childish. Exactly.
Secret Service Sam here with some hardcore receipts on the Austin Metcalf Carmelo Anthony trial aftermath. Jeff Metcalf got on TikTok Live and showed you his completely racist side. For him to sit there and say this wasn't about race, and this video I'm about to show you gives you an idea into how these twins were raised and how we ended up here and how they were most likely talking to Carmelo. Look at what Jeff Metcalf had to say about slavery.
Even though they did wrong, you're going to support someone who does something against the law. You're encouraging and saying it's okay because he's a certain color. Oh, you've got more melanin than me. Ooh, so you get more in privileges, more entitlement? Because 400 years ago, someone actually sold you to us and we took you over here and put you to work. And then we had a civil war to free your ass.
No, I just love it when they say they had a civil war to free us, because we all know that's not why they did it. And second of all, even if it had been the reason, well, y'all are the ones that enslaved our ancestors. So you're not supposed to get a pat on the back and a handshake and a cookie for freeing them. Okay, after you enslaved them. But let's continue.
And now you want to talk shit. Oh, I've been so oppressed. You couldn't even vote 1960.
Because we were oppressed. Do y'all hear this? He said, oh, we're so oppressed. You couldn't even vote 1960. Yeah, that's because they were oppressed. Okay, please pay attention. He sounds ridiculous.
Look how far you've come. Look at all the free shit we give you.
They give us? Now, what's he talking about? Is he talking about SNAP benefits, maybe? Because at the end of the day, they get the SNAP benefits more so than black folk. Okay, please pay attention. Free stuff. Let's continue.
You're not oppressed. You're fucking.
And hold on, let me say this too. I'm not going to keep interrupting the video, but here's the thing. He keeps on talking all this trash about us, but the word on the street is that the money that he collected from his GoFundMe, he and the mother, they both had separate GoFundMes, right? What do they need money for? Was it to bury Austin, maybe? Okay, no, it wasn't. They're using the money, allegedly. He's supposed to be buying a new truck, and the mother, and going on a tour of Europe, okay? And the mother bought an 8-bedroom house, okay, allegedly. But let's continue.
Entitled. You know what DEI stands for? Yeah. Means I don't have to be fucking qualified. I just have to be a certain color or a race or gender. Whose broad ass idea was that? I don't know about you, but when I grew up, there was no participation trophy.
The only reason they give out participation trophies now is because the black children kept winning all of the activities. Okay, that's why. Do y'all know that, right? I reported on that years ago. Okay, please miss me with it on Facebook. In fact, the reason they now give out participation trophies is because they don't want the little losers to feel bad when they lose. They want everybody to feel like a winner. Okay, so what's he even talking about?
There wasn't a safe space created for me because my feelings were hurt. We had to take actual responsibility for our own actions. Wow, what a concept. If you want society to change, if you want a better place for your kids, then get involved in your kids' life, in your community, in your church. But don't sit on your couch and bitch when it doesn't go your way.
And what's crazy is in part of this video, he tries to say black fathers are not involved in their life. It's like 78% of y'all aren't even involved, when that statistic has been debunked. Black fathers are more involved in their children's life than almost any other race. Next, he has a Mark Wayne Mullen moment, claiming to be Native American, and goes on another racist rant. Look at this.
We are Native American. I have my Indian card and so do the boys. So if you want to talk about stolen land, yeah, that starts here. We were here before y'all were. They took all our land and put us on a reservation. They just brought you guys over on a boat.
He's going in on us. Do y'all hear this? He is literally going in on us for things that our ancestors couldn't help. He said, y'all couldn't even vote in 1960. And then he said his land got stolen because he's a Native American. Okay, please pay attention where. Okay, and then says y'all just came over on a boat. Not at our own doing, sir. This man is crazy, but let's continue.
Let me guess, your Indian name is Running Around with Big Racist Mouth Bull.
The next question is, are you satisfied with the sentence that Carmelo Anthony received? Do you believe Austin has received justice?
That's a real easy question for me to know. Hell no. What is justice? Justice for me is when Austin walks through that door and can hug me. That's how long he should stay in jail. Until my son comes back through that door. Do I think justice was served? No. There's all types of justice. Street justice, legal justice.
Let me guess. Real street justice means strange fruiting someone like you good old boys used to do in the old days and have picnics and make postcards. I'm sorry for anybody who was triggered by this video, but I thought it was important to debunk Jeff Metcalf saying he's not racist. And now you get an idea for how these twins most likely acted towards Carmelo Anthony, acting like they were superior to him. And I do believe he acted in self-defense, and we need to bring justice to Carmelo Anthony. Secret Service Sam out. Carmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf trial update. It seems Jeff Metcalf, when he got on a TikTok live, just completely exposed himself, and it's disgusting language. But I just want you guys to see this so you can see who he is, who the family is, and to not accept him saying he's not a racist. Look at what he says.
The race card, black fatigue, it's real. I'm sorry. You're the only one in your family without a damn record. I guess that's something to brag about in your culture. I got a new name for Mello, okay? Because he was such this little boy y'all were trying to portray. How about watermelon felon? How's that one strike you?
So you can see there, he calls him a watermelon felon. It just didn't take long for his racism to spill out of himself. And you'll notice in all these videos he's putting out, he's not crying at all. He doesn't seem that emotional about what happened. I would imagine as a father, I wouldn't be able to get on TikTok live and talk all this trash without getting visibly crying. But he keeps going on.
So if you want to talk about stolen land, yeah, that starts here. We were here before y'all were. They took all our land and put us on a reservation.
What reservation has he lived on? Do y'all hear this? What reservation has he ever lived on? Please stop lying, sir.
They just brought you guys over on a boat. Works for you? Hey, man, that's your gig. Cool. Doesn't bother me until you bring it in my lane. You bring your shit in my lane, I'm going to run your fucking ass over. You understand that?
Here's my question, though. Why is he talking trash to black people again? Carmelo's going to prison. Okay, we didn't kill his son. We didn't have anything to do with it. So why is he going in so hard to paint on us? Talking about slavery, talking about how we couldn't vote, and if we bring our stuff into his lane and all this, why is he so mad at us? Because he's racist. That's the reason, beloveds. It's because he's racist.
Don't underestimate old man.
This is all appalling to me. That sounds like something that Triple K used to say back in the day. And I'm not surprised at all. But I want to let you guys know my mission is to expose all of their secrets. Secret Service Sam out Samson for president of the world.
So Jeffrey Metcalf, the father of the twins, Austin and Hunter Metcalf, Austin, of course, being the victim who unfortunately lost his life at the Frisco track meet at the hands of Carmelo Anthony. We know this. He asked a very powerful question, and that powerful question that he asked was, what kind of family did Carmelo come from? And what kind of family would raise a young man like Carmelo Anthony? And why is the question about the parents so important, right? Because we know that the parents are the ones who are raising the children, and the parents' character, their morals and their value system, it's important to know what it is, because then we probably can understand more why the child reacts and does the things that they do.
I'm not trying to judge, but what kind of parents did this child have? What was he taught? He brought a knife to a track meet, and he murdered my son by stabbing him in the heart. The guy was in the wrong place. They asked him to move, and he bowed up. This is murder.
So I don't think it was wrong that he asked that question, but my question would be, since Jeffrey Metcalf was arrested back in 2011 for sexual assault, In 2011, his sons would have already been born because they're 17. So that means they would have had to been born around 2007 or so, right? And we know that he's not married or together with the twins' mother. They're separated because they have several different GoFundMes, one for him, one for the wife, and they might even have one for Hunter, but who knows? But I would want to know what kind of family would raise a young man who would try to push, physically remove someone from underneath a tent who just wants to stay dry because it's raining cats and dogs. Because I think anybody who is a devout, born-again Christian, their morals and their value systems would say, hey, get up under this tent and stay dry. So just as important as it is for Jeffrey Metcalf to ask who raised Carmelo Anthony, I would want to know who raised Austin Metcalf to be the bully young man that he was on that fateful day down in Frisco, Texas.
Okay, it's the nerve of it all for me. It is the nerve of it all. But hold on, because have you all heard that there supposedly is a hit out on Melo? Hold on. We're going to get into it.
Celebrating a birthday and spending time.
Now, I want you all to pay attention. This is a shootout that happened Sunday. A black family having a cookout, and then some guy that's their neighbor, some wanton supremacist, okay, came by yelling the N-word and then left and came back with a gun and lit the place up. Let's get into it.
Time together before a man they identify as a neighbor pulled up and opened fire with an AR-style rifle. Witnesses say the family was gathered outside for a reunion Sunday night when a car drove by. A white man who witnesses say was Jeffrey Tyler Kinzer was inside the car yelling racial slurs at the group.
And he's talking junk and he started yelling the N-word. He kept going, so we let him go. And we were just discussing what just happened, why he tripping.
But Green says Kinzer came back, this time wearing armor and carrying a rifle. Oh my God!
And then that's when everybody started running. He got a gun. All the kids, they was making sure the kids get in the house. And people started taking positions because they seen he had a gun. And I was in the middle of the street. That's when he raised it and fired. Boom. And I grabbed my gun and started returning fire and moving with him.
Green says he's a Marine veteran. He says he was willing to defend his family, including children and older adults who were present.
It was so hurtful. I cried all night. I'm laying outside on the ground through a shootout under a car with my other auntie, my other sister, who is 77, and I'm 62.
The investigation is ongoing. Officials say more charges are expected to come. This family says they are just grateful to be alive.
Well, when you rig the jury, this is what you get. See you in the appeal. Well, when you rig the jury, this is what you get. See you in the appeal. Well, when
Because it is. Have you seen the history of the United States of America?
Did I tell a lie?
See you in the appeal.
Hold on, I have to fast forward this. Okay, here we go.
We'll be at home with they folks right now. Motherfucking business and kept his hands to himself. Both these boys will be at home with they folks right now. Did I tell a lie?
I've been following this Carmelo Anthony case, and it's always astounding to me how white America, MAGA especially, have the audacity, they have the nerve to say, oh, stop making it about race. Why does it have to always be about race? Because it is. Have you seen the history of the United States of America? Have you seen how we treat Black Americans? Especially young Black males. Better yet, do you understand the good old boy system? Do you understand the good old boy system of Texas?
Didn't I tell you all about that yesterday, that they have a good old boy system down there? They absolutely do. They have one here in Georgia too. They have them all over the South, but let's continue.
Think about this. If Carmelo Anthony was a 135-pound white boy who went under a tent at a high school to get out of the rain, and then two 200-pound, 6-foot black boys who were on the football team, looking like linebackers, came up to him and said, I need you to leave this tent. And if the white boy was scared and he didn't want to go out in the rain, and he says, no, I'm not leaving. And then the black boys were to push that white boy, to lunge at him and start a fight with him. And then that white boy pulled out a knife and stabbed them two black boys. Y'all would all be saying self-defense. We wouldn't even be having this conversation. You'd be in the comments, usual suspects. Them boys were chimping out to attack him like that. Let's be real. You'd be saying, oh, those were two silverback gorillas coming at that little poor white boy. And he was just trying to defend himself. Two major elements, concepts of self-defense is imminent threat and use of force. Was there an imminent threat? Obviously. There were two 200-pound football players who circled a 135-pound black boy while he was sitting down. And not only did they threaten to beat his ass, but they started to try to beat his ass. And the reality of America is that the vast majority of us, including myself, is that we'll never know the amount of fear that black people face and feel having to live in a society that was not built for them, that was not built by them, but it was actually built to destroy them. Knowing that 9 times out of 10 in situations like this, they're not getting the good end of the deal. They're getting the short end of the stick. They're not getting the benefit of the doubt. When we convict white defendants in the United States of America, it is beyond a reasonable doubt, any sliver of doubt, and that person is innocent. Black defendants, on the other hand, can have all the doubt in the world, evidence in hand, and many times it's still not enough. Not all the time, but the vast majority. There are police brutality trials, and they have a use of force incident by a law enforcement officer, and he has to make a split-second decision. He is always given deference. That's the standard. They said that police officers are put in harmful or risky situations, and it's very stressful. Well, I can imagine that's what it's like for a young black male living in this country, in a country where white people continue to invalidate their experience. And when we talk about the element of proportionality of force in the Carmelo Anthony case, we have no idea the amount of fear that Carmelo Anthony was experiencing on that day. When two big old white boys twice his size come and violently attack him. I'd imagine if I was Carmelo, I'd probably fear for my life too. In fact, after the incident, he was so scared that he tried to get rid of the knife because he knew the reality of being caught up in the good old boy system and that his story and his experience would not be validated or believed. That's the difference between being black and white in a two-tier justice system in the United States of America.
So I just got word from one of my followers that happens to be locked up in a Texas prison as we speak. The Aryan Brotherhood of Texas already has a hit out on Carmelo Anthony. Shot callers have already made the hit. There's a lot of money behind this one, and it will be handled accordingly. Soon as Carmelo Anthony touches down in a Texas prison, justice will be served.
We are not dealing with human beings. We're dealing with demons who walk this earth. This is the barbecue we had last night. Your son, Joe. This is a postcard that got sent out after a lynching. I think they said 2,000 people attended. Burned them, took off digits. These y'all grandparents, bro. For every one of us, there's thousands of them that want to see shit like this. Like, you can try to gaslight me, you can try to gaslight us, you could try to say whatever, you could try to erase history. This shit happened. This happened, and these folks remember it, and this man's family remember it. These motherfuckers are demons, dog. And we sit up here and listen to these motherfuckers. This motherfucker could be in Congress right now. This motherfucker could be your senator right now, bro. These could all be police commissioners, lawyers.
Exactly. He's absolutely right. Absolutely right. Now, with that all being said, I think it's safe to say that both Austin and Hunter got their nefarious behavior from their father. Now, let me address Chicken Chow Mein, who says white people are taking the side they're taking because the victim is white. Black people are taking the side of Carmelo because he's black. No, that's not it. I know you think that's it, okay, but no. You can't read anyone's mind, so you don't even know. The bottom line is we know for a fact that the racist white people are taking Austin's side, okay, because they're racist. They don't like people who look like me. Now, the fact of the matter is, we're taking Carmelo's side because he's innocent, because he didn't do anything other than defend himself. That's why. You see, the thing about us is, unlike some groups of people, we don't defend our people when they're in the wrong. We call them out. That's what we do. We call them out amongst ourselves and to their faces. That's what we do. So, no, we know that Carmelo is innocent, okay? And there are people who saw the real video footage, not that grainy bull crap that they showed in court, okay, to fool everybody. The 11-minute video where it was so clear that you could see the raindrops falling, according to sources who actually saw it. And we had proof that they saw it. We had their name on the list. We had the email that was sent to them confirming that they were going to come and see it. So with that all being said, they all said that Carmelo was jumped by 4 big dudes. And we believe them. So that's why we're on his side, okay? That's why we're on his side. You should never assume anything, because you know what they say about people who assume, right? So anyway, with that all been said, what do you all think about what Carmelo, I'm not Carmelo, but what Austin's father said, calling Carmelo a watermelon felon? I mean, he just let it all hang out. Now, we saw him in the CBS interview, and he was sitting there acting all poised and all of that, and then acting like he had a semblance of empathy, saying that, oh, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But clearly he would. Okay, clearly he would, after all the low-down stuff that he said. But I'm still confused as to why he was dragging us. Okay, I still have questions about that. Why was he dragging us, African Americans, black people? We didn't do anything to him, okay? We didn't do a darn thing. But anyway, we're going to get into Jake Lang, okay, who was arrested, as he should have been.
Surprised that this happened? After everything else going on in this racist-ass country, are we really surprised? 12 white jurors. 12 white jurors. It's just some bullshit. Give that boy a fair shake. No matter what the evidence says, no matter what anybody else says, give him a fair fucking shake. Racist motherfuckers. 12 white jurors, 1 African-American defendant. If it was the other way the fuck around, the white people in this country would be screaming and fucking crying of racial injustice. Now fucking appeal it and give him a fair shake. Dirty racist motherfucker.
Honey, he was beyond mad. But didn't I tell y'all? Didn't I tell you all about the gingers? Okay, didn't I tell y'all about the gingers? Okay, please pay attention. All right, now, with that all being said, let's go to this clip here, because this woman is talking about that shootout that happened. Hold on. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. I'm going to go to the footage. Anita said they sentenced him before they gathered. Yes, they had already made up their minds. For them to come back in less than 3 hours on a murder in the first degree, and you came back that quickly, yeah, I already had told y'all that it was going to be bad if they come back early. That means he's guilty.
Out of Leesburg, Georgia, is why my husband and I go to the range. Y'all, on Sunday, June 7th of this year, an African-American family were gathered outside having a family reunion. There were around 20 kids in the yard. There were elderly people there. There were people of all ages having a good time. Well, then this guy, Tyler Kinzer, drives up and starts yelling out of his window racial slurs, calling the family the N-word, all of that stuff. And then he sped off. So the family say they just let him go. They did get on the phone and call the sheriff, but this guy later, a few minutes later, returned with an AR-15 and started shooting into the crowd. They said that the family members, you had 77-year-old people trying to hide up under cars, everything. The good thing is that one of the family members was a retired Marine veteran, and he was able to pull out his weapon, and he managed to shoot this guy in order to stop this guy from, this attack. The other great thing is that he did not hit anyone in the crowd. So they took him to the hospital, the paramedics and the cops, and later charged him with aggravated assault. I think he needs to be charged with terrorism and a lot more than what they are charging him with currently.
Why wasn't he charged with attempted murder? Okay, do y'all hear this? Why wasn't he charged with attempted murder? I have several questions, okay?
I am so happy that nobody in that family was injured, although they will be forever traumatized. But this is why, as for me and my house, we believe in what the ancestor Ida B. Wells told us. We think it's relevant for today. But spread the word about this and be cautious, y'all. Their evil is just, it's rising up again. It's always been here. It was a little bit more hidden, but they're more emboldened with it now. Keep your family safe.
It's attempted murder. I don't know why he didn't get that charge. I guess because he has the complexion for the protection. Now, hold on. Okay, so I'm going to go real quickly. I'm going to go to another video. Hold on. Trying to rewind this. Okay, so I'm going to go to another news report about that shooting incident that happened in Georgia, Leesburg. Likes up, everyone, please like and share.
A Lee County family is speaking out, recalling the terrifying moments when they say a man armed with an AR-style rifle opened fire on their family reunion. And thank you for joining us at 5 o'clock. I'm Greg Lloyd.
And I'm Carla Heat Sands.
Now, that shooting happened Sunday evening on Autumn Leaf Drive in Leesburg. The Lee County Sheriff's Office says Jeffrey Tyler Kinsner shot at partygoers after a verbal altercation occurred. No one in the family was reportedly injured, and Kinsner was shot after a family member returned fire.
He was charged with aggravated assault. WAOB News 10's Mariah Norman sits down with a witness who says their family was racially targeted.
This family says they were celebrating a birthday and spending time together before a man they identify as a neighbor pulled up and opened fire with an AR-style rifle. Witnesses say the family was gathered outside for a reunion Sunday night when a car drove by. A white man who witnesses say was Jeffrey Tyler Kinsner was inside the car yelling racial slurs at the group.
And he's talking junk and he started yelling the N-word. He kept going, so we let him go. And we were just discussing what just happened, why he tripping.
But Green says Kinsner came back, this time wearing armor and carrying a rifle.
And then that's when everybody started running. He got a gun. All the kids, they were making sure the kids get in the house. And people started taking positions because they seen he had a gun. And I was in the middle of the street. That's when he raised it and fired. Boom. And I grabbed my gun and started returning fire and moving with him.
Green says he's a Marine veteran. He says he was willing to defend his family, including children and older adults who were present.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop it right there because we already heard this. We already heard this. I thought maybe it was a different report, but hold on. Now, this man was their neighbor. This man is their neighbor. So that's real crazy. Now, so they say the incident was racially motivated, which we already knew that. These people are upset and mad about Carmelo, even though he got sentenced. Okay. Now, mind you, he did this shooting prior to Carmelo getting his sentence, though. He did this on Sunday. So maybe he thought he was going to get off. I don't know what this fool's thinking pattern was. But according to the Lee County Sheriff's Office, deputies were called to 100 and 200 blocks of Autumn Leaf Drive after receiving multiple reports of a shooting in progress. The Sheriff's Office said it stemmed from a verbal altercation. The resident of the home on Autumn Leaf Drive told WALB her family was visiting for a family reunion that weekend. First of all, it was not due to an altercation, a verbal altercation. He was the one talking trash and calling them the N-word. So anyway, at about 9 p.m., family members said they were standing in the front yard when a car drove past. Jeffrey Tyler Kinzer, who officials identified as the suspect, was reportedly leaning out of the window, shouting racial slurs at the group. And then comes back in full-on body armor. So that lets you know he had been planning, because who's just sitting at home with body armor on deck? Who is sitting at home right now with body armor on deck? I mean, there may be a few, but really, is that something that people just do, that you just have on standby in the events that you perform a drive-by on your neighbors? Honey, these racist people are nefarious. But let's go to this last video. This is this guy reporting on Jake Lang. And did you all know that Chud the Builder is supposedly getting evicted? Yeah, they said he's getting kicked out. His house is being, I guess it's being foreclosed on, because they said he's getting evicted. Not that he needs it anyway. He's in jail, and I don't think he's getting out anytime soon.
Florida Senate candidate Jake Lang was just arrested for terroristic threats in the state of Texas. And this is a serious crime that will probably have him do serious time. Officially, Jake was charged with terroristic threats to impede public services, as well as placing the public in fear of severe bodily injury and attempting to influence government operations like legal proceedings in the case of Carmelo Anthony. Jake used his one phone call in jail to effectively admit to a Class 3 felony in the state of Texas, saying that the reason he's under investigation for terroristic threats is because he said,
if the jury did not find Carmelo Anthony guilty, then we the people will deal with justice.
Which fits almost every single definition of a terroristic threat in the state of Texas to a T. I'll leave all of the many different definitions here so you can pause and read them if you like. If Jake is convicted of a Class 3 felony in Texas, he could see up to 10 years in jail, as well as a $10,000 fine. However, if we consider all of his other charges, it doesn't look like Jake's getting out anytime soon, and the world is better for that. Failed Florida Senate candidate Jake Lang was just arrested for terror.
Now, let me just tell you all this. There is a Black woman whose son came up missing on a school trip. Now, I haven't really seen this all over the internet or all over the media. I mean, I haven't seen it all over the media. Like when Natalie Holloway was missing. Remember that? She was missing. It was on the news for 3 years. But anyway, we know we don't get much coverage. But let's go to this story, because I almost forgot about this. He went on this trip. He was supposed to graduate, if I'm not mistaken. And he clearly had to have drowned, because they have not found his body.
To be brought home. He should be at home.
Shaira Hill is in agony, knowing her 14-year-old son is somewhere in the Atlantic.
That ocean's big. He's a small guy.
And while she has accepted that he's no longer here physically, this mother is desperately seeking answers and some sort of closure.
Even though he's not physically here, he's still here.
DeVoris Carter III's family lovingly calls him Peter. He was an 8th grade student at Delta School in Philadelphia. It serves children with special needs.
When you send your kid to school, they should return from school.
Shaira's nightmare began last Monday afternoon when Peter's school called to say her son had vanished while swimming in the ocean during a chaperoned class trip to Wildwood. Moments later, She found herself in a race against time to get from Philadelphia to the Jersey Shore.
I walked all the way out there to the shore, and I'm just looking at the water, walking back and forth.
Okay, they had chaperones, so why was he out there? And then he had special needs? Do y'all hear this? Joy to the World said they found him today. How did he get out? Why was he out there by himself anyway? Thank you for the information, beloved. But why was he out there by himself? That is crazy. When my sons were growing up, honey, when they had field trips where they were going out of town or anything like that, I was always there. I went with them, okay? She needs to sue the school and everybody involved.
I know where was he? Where was everybody?
Lifeguards were not on duty in Wildwood last Monday. The shore town isn't fully staffed 7 days a week this early in the season. Signs are posted warning people not to swim on unguarded beaches. The school CEO told NBC 10 last week that there were 6 students and 6 staff members on the trip and that the students had supervision. 3 others also struggled in the ocean and were saved by a Wildwood police officer who was patrolling the beach. But Peter never made it back to shore.
Who was chaperoning that trip?
I have no idea. I just know that he was supposed to be assigned a staff.
Do you feel like your son was failed on that trip?
In so many ways.
Shaira says while the Coast Guard flew an aircraft along the coast yesterday, the extensive search for Peter stopped last week. She's praying someone can help her bring him home.
It's still big out there and he's small. So I think that it's possible that he's not floating. He's somewhere under the water. So I'm just asking that if there's any organizations that have technology or anything that could go in the water, look for him.
This mother, desperate to see her son's face one last time.
That is so sad. Condolences, prayers, thoughts, and condolences to the family, friends, and loved ones. Awful to hear. Okay, and just imagine how terrified he was out there. And he has disabilities too. There's no way he should have been out there just with the kids and not with an adult. And the other kids were out there struggling too. They almost lost 3, 4 kids. If that's the case, these people are something else, incompetent. And this is why I promote homeschooling your children. Also, because the Black people, you should not want your children indoctrinated by this nefarious system, okay, which is nothing more than a school to prison pipeline, okay? So with that all being said, I'm going to conclude the broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Okay, I will be back later because later we got to talk about what's going on with the boycott. I need to stop calling it a boycott because now they're saying it's a ban because we're not going back. Now, mind you, when I come back, we're going to talk about it, but Don D said that sounds on purpose. I think it's suspicious too, beloved. You know, you can never put anything past people. Okay, it could possibly have been. So listen, so here's the thing. We're having we're gonna talk about the ban. Okay, now we've had some more agents come out talking trash. We've had some more come out, you know, basically saying they want to have a truce or whatever. And then we had this African lady who had a whole afro, mind you. Okay. I mean, I don't care that she had an afro, but I just find it interesting that she's talking all this slick stuff about African Americans, FBA, Black folk. Okay. She's talking all this trash about us, but rocking an afro. Make that make sense. Okay. But like I said, you know, these people that don't like us and have so much disdain for us, they always do what we do. Okay, they always do what we do, but this is going to be, and there's, you know, there's people going around to some of these stores and recording, and they're absolutely empty. Now, there are some Black people who have said they're not going to boycott these people. That's fine. That's fine. I just told them they were raccoons and go right on ahead. You don't have to. Okay, you don't have to. And I'm going to show you some of them when I come back. Okay, so I will probably be back at about 6 o'clock. About 6 or 6:30. Okay, so until then, beloveds, I hope you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. And until next time, I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.
Hit him with that flavor. Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got